Hey everyone, it's Andy Meyer from Airplane Collectibles here. I'm back with another airplane presentation. I'm excited because I haven't done one of these in a little while, so I thought maybe I'd show you this. This is the Lockheed U-2. And the U-2 was used during the Cold War, and I'll tell you more about that. Back then in the 1950s, when this aircraft made its first flight, the U-2 could fly higher than any known aircraft at that time, before the SR-71 Blackbird was invented. And I did a video on the SR-71 Blackbird probably a couple months back, so be sure to check that out too. But the Lockheed U-2, it was used for reconnaissance, which is like it was like a spy plane, like to fly over enemy countries. Because back then during the Cold War, the United States military, they were worried that the Soviet Union might be gathering a bomber fleet or might be gathering a missile to aim for Western Europe, or just something that, like, they were just worried that the Soviets weren't going to do good. So, to find out what the Soviets were going to do, instead of, like, marching straight into the country to spy on them to find out, they just get an airplane and fly over it. So they can obsess the Soviet threat. And it did work. And part of it showed some Soviet fighters patrolling the air. They kind of knew the U-2 was there, but they were very frustrated not being able to reach us with airplanes. The U-2 has and that's what the U-2 is basically made for. It's supposed to fly high so enemy airplanes can't reach it. It can fly at an altitude. It says here, I wrote this down on a Word document and printed it out. The U-2 can fly at an altitude of 70,000 feet. And that is pretty high. It's too high for missiles. And it's also too high for most Soviet fighters. It has a top speed of 500 miles per hour. It has a wingspan of 103 feet, has a length of 63 feet, and it has a range of 600 miles. So it could probably fly at its top speed for about an hour. And then it runs out of fuel and has to land. But it was able to conduct reconnaissance before that happened. And the Lockheed U-2 first flew in 1955, and it was delivered to the Air Force in 1956. And the Air Force used the U-2 to obsess the Soviet threat. And the long, wide, straight wings of the U-2, it gave the plane glider-like characteristics, and it would fly so high above the ground that even if the Soviet military did detect it, they couldn't reach it with fighters or missiles. But that was just believed, until May 1st, 1960. On that day, a pilot named Francis Gary Powers, he was shot down by Soviet missiles as he took photos from 67,000 feet. But the good news is, Powers safely objected, but the Soviets put him on trial. And that literally strained U.S.-Soviet relations. But Powers was released 2 years later. And today, high-altitude stuff is done mainly by satellites, but an updated version of the U-2. The U-2 has actually helped us with other things. It has helped us conduct reconnaissance over enemy countries like Bosnia, Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Iraq. And it's also used for high-altitude stuff by NASA. I think there might be 2 U-2s that fly around today. One is used by the Air Force and one is used by NASA. That's what I've heard from a couple scenarios, but I don't know. There could be more U-2s out there. But as impressive as the U-2 has been, it wasn't enough to do the reconnaissance at the Cold War. So the military came up with something better. And in 1964, they did. And that is when the SR-71 Blackbird was invented. And I encourage you guys to check that video out. You could just search up airplane collectibles and you could put facts about the SR-71 Blackbird. Because I did a video on that probably back in late September. And if not, maybe the beginning probably late September is when I did it, if not like early October. But I did do a video on the SR-71 Blackbird, and I encourage you guys to go check that out. But one other thing about the U-2, I think it's designed to carry only one pilot. It's a single-seat aircraft. And I think the U-2, it really does fit in. In fact, it kind of doesn't really have to fly at its top speed. It could just fly at like 300 miles per hour or something, and it could just glide along. And I think it would also sometimes carry fuel tanks that it can use to carry a little extra fuel. That's another thing that most people believe. But the U-2 is a famous high-flying spy plane. I think we have two of them, and we like our world, our country, the United States, I think has two of them. One is used by the Air Force, I think, and the other is used by NASA. Yep, so that's what they do. But anyway, guys, those are some facts about the Lockheed U-2. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you really enjoyed, please subscribe. It really helps me if you subscribe because it knows that you guys like my videos. And I'm trying to get more subscribers. That's what every YouTube channel is trying to do, is get more subscribers. But I encourage you guys to subscribe. And if you do, that's great. I already have 30 subscribers. And I don't plan on stopping there. So, I love you all, and thank you so much for being a part of my channel. My channel would be nothing without you. Without you, my channel would be nothing. So, I'm glad that you guys are subscribing and being a part of my channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and if you really enjoyed, share with a friend. And let me know in the comments below if you have any other airplanes I should do presentations on. Also, let me know in the comments what like models or die-cast airplanes I should get for my collection over there. That would help me out too. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna sign off now. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. So everyone, have a good night and stay safe.